Hello, my name is Liz Brewer, and this is my reflection. I taught an animal adaptations unit. It was a 3-week unit, and it was blended and taught in reading, writing, and science. Here's an actual poster taught. It was actually from a few years ago. The ones we did in class were more handmade. So this is one that was typed up. The ones this year were handwritten, and so this is just a really good example of one, though. So our question was how animals survive in their habitat. We reviewed what a habitat was because that was very heavily taught in second grade. So a habitat is where animals live. We introduce adaptations. So an adaptation is a special skill which helps an animal survive and do everything it needs to do to survive in their environment. So I always tell students animals can't go to Walmart and buy a winter coat. To survive in the cold, they have to have an adaptation. So here on the right is an actual screenshot of our magazine that we use in class for the 3 weeks. So here's an example of the web feet. Polar bears and ducks have web feet to help them swim faster. Polar bears swim faster to go get prey, and polar bears swim faster to get prey. Ducks swim faster to swim away from their prey, but they both have web feet. So that's one of their common interests. So we use the reading magazine and a reading journal to help students develop a deeper understanding about animal adaptations. So this is a great tool we use all throughout the course of the 3 weeks. How did the task involve a complex real-world application? So this is something I really need to work on more in the following years, but it definitely teaches students how living things adapt to the changing environments throughout the world. I dug a little bit deeper and found out, fourth grade does learn about plant adaptations, which I knew, but I dug a little bit deeper about how eventually students learn about ecosystems and life cycles. So I just need to do a better job in the future, just learning just more about what they learn in fourth grade and further on in the years and how that applies to what we teach in third grade and how I can help students get just that deeper understanding. So what we do to assess. So I use our reading magazines, we annotate, we discuss in our whole group lessons, our reading journals, and answer questions from the magazine. A lot of in-depth paragraphs are written about explaining what they have learned, in-depth writing. I use a lot of activities on Seesaw, which is an app, and we read books on Epic, and we do some brain pop videos. Our magazine layout is a great example of the assessment, and that's my main assessment. And then science, I really need to find some better hands-on activities. It's funny, it's a science unit, but we really didn't use our science book this time. It's a lot of shared materials, and we just couldn't do any of those activities just due to COVID. So again, here's another magazine example about adaptations that animals have. On the left is about penguins, and on the right is about camels. And then finally, how the opportunities to self-assess. The students present their projects on Seesaw to their families and then to our class, and then students are able to answer questions that their classmates ask. What I need to do is a better job is to have students self-reflect and reflect to me about what they enjoyed and didn't like about the project. I will say that I asked them, but I really didn't. I need to really do a better job about that. I did do a morning meeting question about what they liked or didn't like, and they all said they enjoyed it and wished they could have researched another animal, and they shared what animal they would research and what adaptations they wanted, but that's about all I did. So I really need to work on that in the future, some self-assessments for them and for the unit, and then focusing back on the introduction question about how animals survive in their habitat and actually see if that was achieved or met. And that's because that's the whole purpose of the unit. So thank you for listening to my presentation, and for the class. I learned a lot, and I appreciate all the feedback and lessons Thank you.